The offensive linemen are always doing the dirty work, but never get the recognition that they deserve. Today, thanks to Madden Science, we try to give an elite offensive lineman the recognition that he truly deserves. You see the title, we're trying to go crazy today. Madden Science, back in the flesh. We are going to try to win the MVP award, the most prestigious award of all football. Try to win the MVP with an offensive lineman. Now, RBT, how the heck are you going to do this? Guys, you never doubt the Madden Scientist. Now, the contestant today is a legend on the channel. You guys are OGs. You'll know why he's a legend. And that's none other than the main man, Mr. Calvin Throckmorton, an OG from the Reject series. Today, he's no longer a reject as we try to win the MVP with him. But as you see, how are we going to do this? He's a 70 overall backup offensive tackle. Because in Madden 21, you can go in the depth chart. You can't necessarily play with an offensive lineman if their position is offensive line in the game, unless they're at the tight end position. And BAM! Calvin Throckmorton, 99 overall. Technically a right tackle, but he is going to play tight end for us today. 99 across the board for the tight end position. I mean, as you guys saw, at right tackle, he's a backup merely. He's not even on the depth chart. He's a 70 overall, but at tight end, as you guys saw, he is an MVP caliber player. So what we are going to do is play the first probably 2 games of the regular season. We have the difficulty all the way down to rookie, have it on arcade mode. We are literally going to try to throw like 15, 20 touchdown passes to this guy in just 1 or 2 games. We'll have them break the freaking receiving record in just a game or 2. So already 2 weeks into the season, he already has every single freaking record for a receiver possible because he's going to play tight end, catch some passes for us. Now, after the first 2 games, after we got like an obscene amount of statistics for him, obviously at that point will be an MVP caliber season. Gonna send him the rest of the year, and he's gonna probably have like 3,000 yards receiving, like 50-something touchdowns, something absolutely crazy. And if that's the case, and he can get that many touchdowns and doesn't win the MVP, something's got to be changed at that point. Because if an offensive lineman can catch 30, 40 touchdown passes in a season and still not win the MVP, we've got to change some things. Because offensive linemen, man, there wouldn't be football without them. Now, if you guys are familiar with these experiments, we never know what's going to happen. The end result could always be a stinker, or nothing crazy could happen. Like, for all we know, like, he just might not win the MVP. Like, I have no idea. That's what the video is for. It's all about the process. It's all about finding out the answer to the question at hand. Let's get this science going. And guys, really quick, if we can make it to 800k subscribers by the end of February, we're going to be giving away another next-gen console to one of my subscribers that are subscribed and have on notifications. So make sure to take that millisecond to click that subscription button if you haven't, so you can have a chance to win a free console. 800k by the end of February. Let's make it happen. Now, time to shut up and get back into the video. This is literally a perfect start. First drive of the season, have the ball at the 7-yard line. So this should be a 93-yard touchdown pass to start off the year for him. So he's already about to have a 100-yard game, and it's going to be the first play of the season. I mean, he should be able to just, yeah, he's beating everybody deep. It's just way too easy for him. Gotta love arcade mode. Oh, no! Come on now! Like, Patrick Mahomes, you're Patrick Mahomes. You're supposed to have better arm strength than that. You're supposed to lead him down the field, but you know what, Patrick? It's raining. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Try it in 2 plays here. He'll have 97 or 93 yards in just a couple plays. And they have him double covered here. And that should be an easy touchdown. And it's Calvin. Can we please go up and catch this one? Finally. Like, Jesus Christ, that took way too much time. We're going to get a lot of those this season. So that's already 2 catches, 93 yards for the Throck Monster. Okay, so Bazooka's enabled, which makes sense. That ball was still like 500 yards down the field. But why doesn't he have the X underneath his body? Do they like change the graphic when you have your X factor enabled? Because it's enabled, but it doesn't have the red X. Isn't that the whole point? Like, that it looked cool. Or is that just like a glitch in my game? Oh no. Calvin. What a catch! The Throck Monster! I love it. That just made me so happy. Oh, this should be easy, right? Please make this catch. Thank you. Touchdown number 3. Oh my, I didn't think there was any chance he was going to make that catch, but he did. I mean, he's Mr. Throck Monster, so of course he did. Oh my, get up to 22 miles per hour at over 300 pounds. All right, I wanted to double check really quick. I was sort of scared because if you guys watched the video where I attempted to win the MVP as a kicker, we did the same exact concept, but with the kicker at quarterback, and he threw for like 50, 60, 70 touchdowns. He didn't win the MVP, but that's because it didn't calculate the stats. Like, it never counted the stats when the kicker played quarterback. I think that's just a glitch in the game where it doesn't actually count the kicker or punter stats when they actually play the quarterback position. Now, I was worried it was going to do the same thing here when a right tackle was playing tight end, so he actually caught the ball. But as you see right here, it's actually counting the statistics, so it hopefully will count his season statistics. By the end of the year, the game will know he'll have 40 touchdown receptions, 5,000 yards receiving, so he better win the freaking MVP. Like, literally the goal by the end of the season is having Calvin Throckmorton holding every single possible receiving statistic possible for a game and for a single season. Like with Patrick Mahomes having bazooka and Calvin having 99 speed, like it's literally a cheat code. Like it's pretty much a guaranteed touchdown if you have enough space to throw every single time. Like it's literally easier to throw a 99-yard touchdown pass in this situation because he has more time to run underneath the football than it is like a 50-yard touchdown. So like every time we get the football within our own 20-yard line, it's like a guaranteed touchdown, and it's freaking not stressful for me. Now, this one's gonna be a little difficult, and he overran it, but it's still a touchdown. Throck monster. And I think this is also like a little tidbit we found out when you look at the next gen stats. Patrick Mahomes 99 throw power with bazooka, throwing the ball an extra 15 yards. The farthest I've seen the max air distance in a throw for Patrick Mahomes on the next gen stat is 70 yards. Like even if they have like a deep safety on that hash mark, like it's still a touchdown every single time just because he outruns them. Hence, like I said, why I picked Patrick Mahomes and bazooka. It's just a guaranteed touchdown every time. And to prove what I just said is correct and it's a guaranteed touchdown every time, we're at the 20-yard line, so an 80-yard throw. If we don't score a touchdown on this play, I'll give you guys my social security number. There we are. That's oh god, he might have overthrew me. Okay, my identity is safe for another day. Funny thing is that we have already like 700 receiving yards for Calvin Throckmorton, but the Texans already have 500 yards of offense in 3 quarters. So that's pretty crazy. I guess that's what happens, you know, when your defense is on the field like 99% of the time because your offense scores in one play every time. I still don't like the fact that the freaking red X factor doesn't pop up underneath my body. Please tell me that's just a glitch and they didn't like change it because I actually thought that was cool. So I think that's already 11 touchdowns for him. And I guess at this point, I don't have to show you guys every single touchdown because I would assume it'd get a little repetitive. So I'll see you guys at the end of the game to recap how many yards we actually did get. I actually just thought about something that is pretty critical to this experiment. Now I'm thinking about it. Obviously, the goal is to get Calvin Throckmonster to win the MVP, but if Patrick Mahomes is the one throwing the touchdowns to him every single time, I think he would win it instead. Like, even though Calvin would have 70 receiving touchdowns on the year, Patrick Mahomes probably would still win the MVP with the amount of touchdowns that he's going to end up with in the season. So what I might need to do is play a few games with Mahomes and then trade him elsewhere. Maybe just like edit his stats where he doesn't get a stat the rest of the year and let like a backup quarterback throw to him or trade and get a new quarterback. I don't know. We just can't have Patrick Mahomes throwing 70 touchdowns because he would win the MVP. Good thing I caught that. Imagine we did all this and I get to the end of the season and he comes in second because Patrick Mahomes won it. I'm glad I thought about it. That's what good scientists do. Think of their mistakes beforehand so you don't end up actually making the mistake. Oh, I love this situation. Down at the 1-yard line, a chance to cap this game off with a 99-yard touchdown pass to Calvin Throckmonster. Hopefully, the future MVP is beautiful. He's going to run underneath it, going to catch the ball. Love it. Love the Throckmonster. Yes, we get the ball back with 9 seconds left. And I have a chance. We score a touchdown this first play. I actually have a chance as time expires to actually score 100 points in this first game, which I, considering the fact it's all the one receiver, not too shabby of a statistic. They had us double covered, but he outruns it as the time expires. That's a 100-point game. Not too shabby, Calvin. So Bill's not happy. Bill wants to know what the heck happened. That's one way to get fired. One way to relive your past. So Calvin Throckmorton, 16 catches, 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. I mean, not too shabby. Like, shouldn't he have every single game receiving record now? Like, Patrick Mahomes obviously broke the passing record. He doubled it. Oh, no. It doesn't actually count it in the record book. That's stupid. Like, why? It has a tight end here. Mr. Box. But where's Calvin? Like, see, it's so stupid. Like, this is where we get, like, into the problem. Like, hopefully it actually counts their season statistics. They should. It counted it in the game, actually. Like, why doesn't it actually count in the record book? Like, this is, like, why? Like, it's a receiving yard. Receiving yard's a receiving yard, no matter what position you play. Hopefully. Oh, no. It doesn't count the season stats. This could be a problem. Like, see, this is where the offensive linemen don't get their respect. Wait, check the box score here. It doesn't even record the stats here. Like, Madden, fix your freaking game. We'll still play 2 more games, and hopefully somehow it still counts as stats in terms of the MVP award. But guys, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Stupid freaking game, dude. How do you not count the stats from a game? Like, okay, it doesn't matter if he's right tackle, punter, or the coach. Receiving yards or receiving yards. Stupid freaking billion-dollar company. He has a picture right here in the league news, but apparently he doesn't exist. So I'm gonna play game number 2. You guys already know the drill here. I'm not going to show you 105 freaking points being scored in the same play, but I will recap at the end of it. I'll sit here for 30 minutes throwing touchdown passes, but we'll recap at the end. I think we might have just underperformed in comparison to last game. We still... Why is the ball moving? Anyways, I think we might have just underperformed in comparison to last game. The ball is moving again. Patrick Mahomes obviously is going to have the same exact passing stats as Calvin Throckmorton. 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. Wait. How does he have 100 more yards? I'm so confused. Where do these yards come from? These guys have a total of 7 extra yards. Somehow they got 2 catches. But how did Patrick Mahomes get an extra 100 yards? You see what I'm saying? 1,167. There should be a difference of like 100 passing yards somewhere. Is that the cutoff? Is 1,023 receiving yards the cutoff for a single game? We'll have to see. That's so weird. 15 touchdowns. So he already has 30 touchdowns on the year. Already has 2,000 receiving yards. I'm going to go back and look at my footage and see if he actually had 1,023 receiving yards in the first game too, because that's the case. We found out that that's the most yards you can get recorded in one game, and my hypothesis was correct. So I assume 1,023 yards is the most amount of recorded receiving stats you can get in a single game, because I think he actually had more than that, but I guess it stopped counting here. I don't know. Is it 15 passing touchdowns? It was, so the touchdowns, all of them counted. But he should have had like 1,100 yards and didn't count the last 80 for some reason. So he's at 30 touchdowns receiving, 2,000 receiving yards already. It's only been 2 games. We're going to play one more. I have an idea for it. Just to double check here, if we go to the box score, maybe it counted this time. No, it didn't. Like, we already broke that. It's 2 games in. We already broke the record for most receiving yards in a season, over 2,000. And then catching the football, yeah, we've already broke that by 7 in 2 games. Randy Moss's record of 23. He already has 30, but of course, it doesn't actually count it. So we're going to play one more to easily just completely blow out the season records in only 3 games. And then send the rest of the season, and we are, like, it doesn't matter what he does the rest of the season. Like, at that point, even if he freaking broke his leg and was out the rest of the season, only playing 3 games with those statistics, with, like, 3,000 receiving yards in a year, and, like, 45 receiving touchdowns in a year, like, right then there should easily, like, unanimously win the MVP, but we'll see if freaking Madden actually counts it. And to make sure Patrick Mahomes doesn't win it, we're gonna trade him for another quarterback, just so another quarterback gets his stats recorded. I can't afford Ryan Fitzpatrick. What the heck, dude? Screw it. I'm tired of this. We'll get Tua. He's declined! EA Sports! According to EA Sports, you wouldn't accept that trade, so I guess we'll have to take our talents elsewhere. Jalen Hurts, I'm ready to get this over with. They accept that one. I'm just curious, if I was to actually change Patrick Mahomes' position to, like, punter, does his stats from his games that already counted in the season count for the season? That makes sense. Like, what I mean here is if I go to the Eagles, and yeah, apparently he's not throwing a ball all year long. I swear to God, how does this game exist? And for this last and final game that we actually play to give crazy statistics to Calvin Throckmorton, I'm actually going to up the game to, like, an extra few minutes to 9 minutes and see if we can get like 20 or 30 receiving touchdowns in one game. We're gonna add the extra 3 minutes to each quarter. We're gonna end up with less freaking receiving yards. Hopefully here though, Jalen Hurts is horrific. Alright, we already have a ton of freaking catching up to do. Hopefully though, this will be completed because he actually has the extra 15 yards from Bazooka to throw this ball. You should be able to run it. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better, Jalen. So, okay, from here on out, it should be freaking easy selling, but we already wasted half a freaking quarter. Game is over. Didn't quite get as many points as I wanted, but it is at least a little bit better than what the first few games were. I do believe the ball is floating again, but we did score. Why is the ball floating every picture? That's kind of scary. But as you see there, we scored a lot of points, 119 points, almost 1,500 passing yards. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna guess once again it says he only had 1,023 receiving yards, and what do you know? So yes, it is confirmed. The most it actually records for a receiver in a single game is 1,023. We did get 20 catches this game. We did score 17 receiving touchdowns, so already that's a total of 47 touchdowns on the year. He could quit and retire right now and still win the NFL MVP. Even 3,000 yards, although he actually has more than that, just doesn't actually count that many. This game, as you saw, he actually had like 1,400, almost 1,500. So he really has probably around, what's that math? Like almost 5,000 yards right now? Probably not. More like 4,500 receiving yards. But I have a bad feeling this is going to end not too well for the experiment. But it's been interesting nonetheless. We have found out a few things. All there is to do now is to sim the rest of the season. I mean, like I said, we've already freaking beat every single NFL receiving record for an NFL season in 3 games. And it's by a huge margin. Pretty much in 3 games, doubled the single season receiving records, every single one of them in 3 games, and he had to simulate the rest of the season, so we got even more yardage. I wish I could tell how many yards he actually ended up with, but if we go in here to stats, Jalen Hurts, I mean, he ended up with 5,000 yards, 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he missed the first 3 games of the year, or actually missed the first 2 games of the year, so imagine how many yards he would have had if he would have played the entire season for us. Let's see here. He had almost 5,000 yards receiving, and what do you know? Doesn't even have a freaking 1,000 yards receiver. Like, what's that? That's not even half his total yardage right there. And what do you know? By a huge margin, the best offense in the entire league. But if we go here, MVP, if he wins it, I'm going to be shocked. What do you know? Doesn't even come in the top freaking 10. Jalen Hurts wins it. So, as you guys see, the answer to the question title video is no. Stupid game, $1 billion company.